Relax and learn simple English with Easygoing English podcast.
Ever hear someone say take it with a grain of salt and think, what does salt have to do with anything?
Maybe someone tells you something is a piece of cake, and you're standing there wondering, what cake? Where's mine?
If you've ever felt lost hearing these kinds of phrases, you're not alone. A lot of English learners understand grammar and vocabulary, but not the expressions people actually use in real conversations.
That's what we're here for. No textbooks, no pressure, just casual, real-world English.
By the way, I'm Claire, and this is Easygoing English Podcast, where we break down real phrases in a way that's chill, simple, and actually fun.
So whether you're lying down, on a walk, or even falling asleep, just listen, relax, and let the phrases sink in.
We'll explain what each phrase means, share quick examples, and you can repeat after us if you want.
Let's make English feel natural, not stressful.
All right, ready? Let's kick it off with the first phrase. The first one on our list is take it with a grain of salt. It means you don't completely believe something because it may not be entirely true or accurate.
This expression is about being cautious about believing something. For example, you want to take anything you see on the internet with a grain of salt. You don't know how reliable the information is.
It's about being skeptical and not taking it at face value.
It's always a good idea to fact-check when you hear about something on the internet, especially when it comes to what someone said or what they did.
I couldn't agree more. Let's listen to an example dialogue.
Has John told you that he's moving to another city next week?
I'd take what he says with a grain of salt. He changes his mind all the time. Last month, he was talking about moving to Japan.
I already planned a farewell party for him.
I'll wait for the official announcement. If he's still sticking to the plan next week, he may actually follow through, but I doubt it.
Moving on to the next phrase. A piece of cake.
It's not literally about cake.
Right. The meaning of this expression refers to something that's very easy to do.
We use it to describe a task or challenge that's super easy, often to sound casual or confident.
This one's pretty casual. You'd hear it among friends, family, or coworkers in relaxed settings.
There are also similar phrases like easy as pie or a walk in the park.
Now, let's see how people actually use this phrase.
How was the math test? I heard that it was really difficult.
Not at all. It was a piece of cake.
Really? I thought the professor was really tough.
He let us bring our textbook and notes, so it felt pretty manageable.
Let's go to the next phrase. Don't judge a book by its cover.
It's not actually talking about books.
Right. Do you want to explain what it means?
It means to avoid forming opinions about someone or something based solely on how they look or appear at first glance.
Exactly. Appearances can be deceiving, so you have to look beyond the surface.
Yeah, I would say the formality of this phrase is neutral.
Yeah, it's acceptable to use it in most settings, including casual and professional conversations. Time for a quick scene using this phrase.
That restaurant looks a bit worn out.
Don't judge a book by its cover. Trust me, the food is amazing.
You sure? Have you even tried it yourself?
Yeah, it's one of the best in the city.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
This is a side tangent, but related to the phrase. The other day, my friend and I were talking about how the shabbier a restaurant looks in my city, the better the food is. It's really counterintuitive, but whenever we went to restaurants that looked amazing, the food was okay. But when we went to restaurants that didn't look so great on the outside, their food was surprisingly great.
This is why you shouldn't judge the book by its cover.
Exactly. Maybe this is just true in my city, but I thought I'd share with everyone, since it fits the phrase.
Definitely. Let's check out another phrase. Every cloud has a silver lining. This phrase conveys the meaning that there's something good in every bad situation.
Yeah, there's a bright side to every situation, even when it looks bad. Good can come from bad.
It's like even dark, stormy clouds have a bright edge where the sun shines behind them. The image symbolizes hope during hard times.
Let's say you and your friends are planning to hike, but it starts raining on that day. You may get disappointed, but the silver lining is that you get to discover some great indoor activities.
Here's how it sounds in a real conversation.
I didn't get the job,
I'm sorry to hear that.
but I found a better one, and they just called to say I got it.
That's amazing. Every cloud has a silver lining.
Here comes the next expression. Hit the ground running. Will you explain the meaning of this phrase?
It means to start something immediately and energetically, often without delay or preparation.
Right. It's similar to getting off to a fast start or diving right in.
I would say the formality of the phrase is neutral. It can be used in business and casual settings.
Let's listen to an example dialogue.
Do you know when the new intern will start?
Tomorrow.
Do they need training?
Nope. They're ready to hit the ground running.
Let's continue with the next phrase. Back against the wall. This phrase refers to being in a difficult situation with limited options.
Yeah, if your back is against the wall, you're in a tight spot. You're dealing with serious issues and have few options.
Yeah, having your back against the wall isn't fun.
Definitely not. You're basically cornered and under pressure. What do you think of the formality of this phrase?
I'd say informal to neutral. It's common in everyday speech, and even in workplace scenarios. Here's how this phrase may play out in a real-life situation.
Why did he agree to those terms? He had his back against the wall, so he had no choice. Exactly. It was either that or lose the client.
Time for another phrase. Pass the buck. The meaning of this is shifting responsibility or blame to someone else.
If you pass the buck, you're dodging responsibility by blaming someone else or making them handle your problem.
Let's say you're working with a group. Each person is assigned a task, but one of them doesn't do their job. When it's time to submit the project, the person who hasn't done their job blames you for it and says that you were supposed to do it. They're passing the buck now.
Yeah, it's about not taking ownership.
Let's play a scene where this phrase is used.
The client called again about the late invoice.
I forwarded it to accounting last week.
They said they never got anything.
Sounds like someone's trying to pass the buck.
On to the next cool phrase. Leave on good terms. It means to end a relationship or situation amicably, without bad feelings.
Yeah, I like this phrase. When you leave on good terms with someone, you leave the relationship with no hard feelings.
Yeah, you part ways on friendly terms.
Exactly. You always want to leave on good terms with your employers when you quit so that you can ask them for a great reference when you apply for a job in the future.
Yeah, a reference means someone like your former boss or colleague who can speak about your character.
You can get letters of recommendation from your previous jobs.
I'd say you can use this phrase both in casual and professional settings. Let's drop into a conversation where this comes up.
Did she quit the job?
Yeah, but she left on good terms.
That's good to hear. She was amazing to work with.
I agree. She might even return in the future.
That'd be awesome.
The next phrase you need to know is a dime a dozen. Would you like to explain what it means for us?
Sure, it means very common or easy to find. If something is a dime a dozen, it's so common that it may not be special.
Right. What's a dime a dozen is not rare and easy to find. Let's say there's a restaurant that is just like any other restaurant. There's nothing special about it. Just a normal restaurant that exists anywhere. Restaurants like that are a dime a dozen.
Yeah, I'd say this phrase is rather informal. You'd use it with friends, family members, or coworkers you're close to in casual speech.
Let's listen to an example dialogue.
I need a new phone charger.
Those are a dime a dozen. Just grab one at the gas station. Yeah, they sell them everywhere now. I'm just going to go buy one there.
Here's the next expression to add to your vocabulary. Off the top of my head. And it means without thinking too hard or checking facts.
If you say something off the top of your head, you're saying it immediately from memory without checking anything.
Let's say someone asks you when the next exam is. You may have written it down somewhere, but you don't remember. You then say, you couldn't tell them off the top of your head. Let's listen to a dialogue where this phrase is used.
Hey, I need to call John now. I think he may have gone to the other station. He said that he was going to be here in a few minutes, but it was like 30 minutes ago. Do you know his number?
Not off the top of my head. I think Mike has it. Do you want me to ask him?
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
Let's go over another everyday phrase. Right off the bat.
It means immediately or at the very beginning. For example, when I met Claire, we got along right off the bat. We just got off on the right foot.
That's right. Similar to right away or from the start.
It's an informal phrase used mainly in conversation.
Let's hear a dialogue using this phrase.
So, how was the interview, John?
It went well right off the bat.
That's awesome. No awkward small talk?
The interviewer and I got along so well from the start, and we got straight into the questions. I think I got the job.
Congratulations, John.
Moving forward, here's another phrase. Sit tight. To sit tight means to wait patiently and don't take any action yet.
It's similar to hang on and hold tight.
Or wait it out. It's mostly used in casual settings. Let's play an example dialogue.
Should I start driving over?
No, sit tight. I'll call you when it's ready.
You sure it won't take long?
Promise. Just a few minutes. I just need to take out the trash when I'm done doing the dishes.
Let's take a look at the next phrase. Up in the air.
I like this phrase. It means uncertain or undecided.
You got it. Let's say someone asks you about your plan for something. If you haven't decided anything, you may tell them that it's still up in the air.
Yeah, it's similar to undecided, not finalized or pending.
I'd say the formality of this phrase is neutral. It's acceptable in both informal and semi-formal conversations. Here's an example conversation for you.
Are you going to Florida next week? It's still up in the air. I don't even know if I'm going to be working next week. Waiting for work to confirm? Yeah, they haven't approved the time off yet.
Time for the next phrase on our list. Beat around the bush. To beat around the bush means to avoid saying something directly.
Yeah, it's the opposite of cutting to the chase. When you're beating around the bush, you're avoiding the point.
Exactly. You're dodging the issue. You're avoiding talking about what's really important. Let's hear how it sounds in an example conversation.
What is that you wanted to talk about?
Well, I wanted to ask you what you would think of me changing jobs.
Is something wrong?
Not exactly.
Don't beat around the bush. Just tell me.
Okay, I'm thinking of quitting.
Time to explore another useful phrase. A penny for your thoughts.
You use this phrase to ask someone to tell you what they're thinking.
Yeah, tell me what you're thinking. Let's say you're brainstorming ideas in a group. One person isn't saying anything. You can say, a penny for your thoughts?
Yeah, you say this phrase to encourage someone to talk about what's on their mind.
You're asking someone if they care to share their thoughts. Now we'll listen to a short conversation.
I'm thinking of starting a business.
What kind of business?
A food stand. You know I like cooking, right? Everyone says that I should start cooking for a living. And it's always been my dream to have my own food stand. A penny for your thoughts?
I don't know if you should quit your job.
That's all for now. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you next time.